In the first 6 months of 2022, OMV achieved a clean CCS operating result of €5.6 billion. In a favourable market environment, OMV's integrated business model from the wellhead to high-quality chemical solutions proved again as a positive contributing factor. The chemicals and materials segment held steady at a high level and generated nearly €1.2 billion. While the first 6 months of 2021 saw record high margins, polyethylene and polypropylene margins normalized in the first 6 months of 2022 due to softening demand and increased availability. Polyolefin sales volumes remained stable at 2.92 million tonnes in the first 6 months of 2022. In the refining and marketing segment, OMV achieved a steep jump to €1.1 billion. Although the retail result took a significant hit, positive market effects and a strong gas and power Eastern Europe performance supported this result. The contribution of ADNOC Refining and Trading grew significantly, mainly as a result of higher refining margins and further efficiency improvements by ADNOC Refining. Refining indicator margins surged to $13.45 per barrel in the first 6 months of 2022, mainly due to higher cracks for middle distillates. Fuel sales marginally increased as demand recovered. This positive trend was partly offset by a lower refinery output in the second quarter, caused by the planned turnaround and following incident in the OMV Schwechat Refinery. On June 3rd, during the legally required water pressure test as part of the final stages of the turnaround of the OMV Schwechat Refinery, damage occurred to the outer shell of one of the columns of the crude oil distillation unit. The unit can process up to 24,500 tonnes of crude per day, and the affected column is roughly 50 metres tall. A highly experienced task force of internal and external experts has been working tirelessly and intensively to minimize the impact of the damage. For the repair period, OMV made significant progress in establishing an alternative supply system for the markets served by the Schwechat Refinery. Mainly due to the planned shutdown in the OMV Schwechat Refinery and the incident following the shutdown, the refining utilization rate decreased to 76%. Exploration and production surged to a half-year result of roughly €3.4 billion, driven by a favourable market environment. Average realized oil and gas prices increased to $97.6 per barrel and €45.1 per megawatt hour. Production decreased to 400,000 barrels a day, mainly due to the change in the consolidation method of Russian operations and less production in Romania, Malaysia and Libya. However, production increased in the United Arab Emirates. Alongside to lower production, the change in the consolidation method of Russian volumes also led to lower sales, as did the lower volumes from Malaysia, Romania and Kazakhstan. Production costs increased in the first 6 months of 2022, mainly due to the change in the consolidation method of OMV's activities in Russia. The new Strategy 2030 is set to transform OMV into a global leader in circular economy solutions. A long-term process has been kicked off that will transform OMV's value chain from a linear to a circular model. Turning OMV into a sustainable business is a key strategic priority. But there are also other challenges that require quick, decisive and forward-looking solutions. Contributing to the security of supply in these turbulent times is an important element of OMV's strategy. Here, OMV achieved a decisive milestone in diversifying natural gas supply for the upcoming gas year. By securing additional pipeline capacities, OMV is able to cover all its delivery obligations in Austria, equaling almost half of Austria's annual demand. This highlights OMV's strength and unwavering determination to adopt to new realities with strong leadership that ensures trust in our commitment to drive change.